price line gap is leading the way. We're 6 pennies, 6 minutes to the opening bell. Now, these are counter gaps to the European contagion over the last 48 hours with 1.00. However, you have an FOMC meeting announcement, and as we go into the opening bell, we want our MMTs to see very clearly what this gap open price is and who is the leaderboard on it. But most importantly is that you would have to get back above where the European contagion came in. So like in Google's case, it's got to get above that 591 area. This is here, it's live, it's now. This Apple gap, it's also a 3.71 ratio. Baidu is a 3.86. So you can see the volatility gap. The thing about the buyer and the seller on the opening bell is where they're going to exchange. Is there going to be more overpowering people wanting to buy because of the gap and fund managers come in? It is November 2nd. And it's 5 minutes to the opening bell. Nonetheless, MMTs. That bull's got a $2 handle gap. Look at that. The thing about it is, MMTs, when they pull back and they test, you got to see a series of higher highs on the opening bell. That's going to be this number here. And that the higher the highs and the less lows on that firecracker opening bell electronic communication network, buyer and sellers are going to be matched up. Last 2 days, they took out all the stop market orders. We got to break above that 587.47, somewhere in that neighborhood, and we have to consolidate that and then take runs at much higher highs. And do the fund managers want to step in on this opening bell in about 4 minutes from now? And this is what it's like in a pre-market futures with a gap. However, we will be watching that 590 put, and we will be watching some of these other puts that were marked up the last couple of days off the European news, is how they mark these down in price. And this is primo price action entries, and looking at where that counter trend today is going to take place and the reasons why. And that the shorts get taken out up to the 590 handle on the gap open, that would be classified as a runaway gap open up toward the highs here. And here in this Apple gap, because it's a nice gap, and here they are, and we're going to open in 3 minutes. Here's the gaps. Wynn has got a nice one today. What you would be looking for is if they don't get above certain highs, once they pull back, they got to break the next high. That has to be in the tape today. And we're going to open in 3 minutes. If the sellers are getting their way, well, then you'll see the put side working. All right, 587. So we're diminishing in the gap price. You can see it right now. Google dropped $1 right here in the bid. And that's how they can do that, or they can walk them up. Look at the gap on Apple. Finally, you're dropping a little bit in the bid, and you'll look for the price action to be extremely strong between the buyer and the seller. And that the sellers have moved out of the way from that European contagion in the last couple of days. They do have a G20 meeting. Right now, I'm going to cap this video, because here are the prices. You can see how price line has diminished in the gap. Google is leading it now at 642. On that opening bell, there's that Baidu gap. Here's that Apple at 3.27 now. And the thing of it is, they got to get back to their old highs prior to the European announcement.